Gotta look at the horizon, Joe.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Son of a bitch, look at that.
Wow.
I was feeling really kind of low that morning when it was gray, and we were, I can remember sitting in the car at the side of the road and just kind of feeling like this is not going to happen. We're not going to be able to pull it off.
We're running out of options. There's your sky.
Why do you hang around with me now?
Good question.
This is the definition of crapshoot, John.
I'm so willing to take a shot at a home run. I really am. You know, that's what we're here for.
So we have totality in about 17 minutes, and that cloud has got our name on it.
You know, solar eclipses are very rare, and so it's all, wow, this is going to be a huge eclipse. They even called it the Great American Eclipse because when was the last one? You know, probably 50 years ago.
Thousands of watchers are expected to descend on Nebraska to see it unfold.
Imagine the sea of red on a Husker game day times 5. Solar eclipse followers flooding the state to see a once-in-a-lifetime event.
I distinctly remember you calling me and telling me about the eclipse. I was interested because I'm always interested in your ideas. I always know that there's an element of adventure, say, or even a little bit of risk involved.
You know, you had come out to San Diego for a visit of your sisters, and we decided, I think you called me up, or you know, somehow we knew about you coming out to San Diego and we'd just get together, and then instead of that it was like, yeah, let's go out to Borrego and check out the slot, which I'd never heard of. I'd never been there, and you went there, and that sort of set the stage for, yeah, that was great, let's do something else. And I don't know that I called you, but it very well could be that it came up that, oh, did you know that there's an eclipse in 2017 and it's huge and it's coursing right through Nebraska? I mean, that's probably it, is that it was going to be very close to you. And are you going to go check it out? And you're all, what eclipse? What were you hoping to accomplish other than viewing the eclipse without clouds?
I think for me it was the folly. I had been kind of getting into cameras and I'd been watching some videos, and I was really kind of taken with the ability to move a camera along, and so you get this motion, plus you get you speed up the action with the time lapse. It became this passion to build this device, and we've joked about it where it's not pretty, and it's made of wood, a big cedar plank, and you know, multiple trips to Lowe's and Home Depot to get nuts and bolts, and ordering little motors from Amazon.
You know, you see time lapses, but you don't see it on this moving dolly, and especially a moving dolly that's going to go across the whole time of before the eclipse, during the eclipse, after the eclipse. Mm-hmm. And so what kind of thrilled me about the whole thing is that you took the effort and time to actually build from scratch this device that would become something of a joke, because, you know, instead of calling it a dolly, you considered calling it your folly, because it was, you spent so much time to get this thing to work, and if it didn't work, it was kind of, you know, all that time was wasted. you tested it ahead of time. You had to tweak it. I mean, it sounds like it was a pretty involved thing when you build something from scratch.
Well, we were gonna, yeah, it was. I had these crazy ideas for how to build it, that would have been very impractical. I think finding a video that showed the rod, the rod with the nut on it that attaches to the carriage.
It's a threaded rod, right?
It's a threaded rod, and it spins. And as it spins, it turns, spins through the nut, and the nut is attached to the carriage.
Hey JB, so doing the motor test, I have it set up in a kind of a jerry-rigged way. You can see there's duct tape. These two mounts for the rod are just duct taped on, but I got the camera on the dolly, got the dolly hooked to the threaded rod, got the threaded rod hooked to the motor. Turn it on. Oh! Okay, here we go. I gotta turn this the right way though. Oop, wrong way. Okay. So it's actually driving the dolly.
Yeah, we tested it once. We tested it once out at the lake, and I remember talking to you on the phone, and one of the concerns was that the eclipse was so high in the sky that we weren't going to pick up the, we weren't going to be able to pick it up with the lenses that we had.
Okay, so this is the first field test for the Folly. It's right over there. It's all packed up and hopefully not going to come apart when I hit a pothole. Alright, so the Folly is cranking away right there on its first test run. I'm going to give John a call. I'm going to test his knowledge of astronomy. Hello, is this UPS? Can you send some help, like fast? Hey, I got a question though, man. I'm using the rented 10 to 24 on the old Nikon, and I can barely get the sun and the landscape in the frame with the 10. So, is the sun at a higher angle right now? Will it be lower in August?
We not only wanted to capture the eclipse itself, and that was, you want a tight shot to be able to actually see when the moon goes in front of the sun. It creates this beautiful pattern of light around it called the corona, and you want to be able to see that, and that particular camera needs to have a filter on it for part of the time, and it needs to be a telephoto so you can get a nice tight shot. But we wanted to capture ourselves in this event because it was epic. So we had cameras pointed at us. We had a drone.
Well,
All right, who are you?
I'm the drone flyer. The thing with drones is that...
Do you know anything about drones?
Well, the propellers have to spin quickly, and so...
How many years have you been a drone flyer?
Oh, many years. It's hard to count.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough fingers for it, but I'm not going to try.
Mm-hmm. Where was your first drone flight?
Well, I don't... as you probably already know, locations for drones have been outlawed. So I don't feel comfortable saying where I flew first.
Are you a criminal?
No, well, not now. I mean, you can't just make a law and then throw a guy in jail. I mean, there has to be a time when people understand what the law is and then break it. So no, I'm not a criminal.
Okay, here we are. Gonna try out the new drone. So Frank's working the knobs, you know, he's the knob king.
How long have we been friends?
Since high school. There's a there's a picture in that freshman year annual where it's you, me, and Rusnak, I think. And you're trying to say something to me, and I'm turning away from you like I'm not going to have any of it. I'm not going to listen to that. And we're just, what are you in freshmen in high school? We're like, what, 13? And then both you and I were in cross country, and then that's where we made a connection. And then from there, it went, you know, track, and then rallies. There is a confluence of personality quirkiness that seems to, by ourselves, it doesn't exist, but when we're together, it kind of is a catalyst that creates this new organism.
You know, if you go out and shoot just the run-of-the-mill windmill, like everybody else is taking at sunset, or the sunset and the clouds as they go down behind the windmill and the stock tank.
Yeah.
Nice picture. Might even be almost a beautiful picture, but it's been done many, many times. And then, you know, the Folly, dolly for the rest of you. It moves you a little bit. It turns the dial a little bit towards away from cliche,
Right.
and a little bit more towards original.
Right.
But it doesn't get you there completely.
Right.
It would be easy to say, well, let's pick the place where the weather's the best, but it just didn't end at that. That was the beginning.
To the southeast of Crawford, there's this big national forest.
Yeah.
And so somewhere in there, we could camp.
Yeah, and it's in totality.
And it's in totality, yeah.
You are only in totality for 3 minutes. You know exactly where the track is, so you know the possibilities of places to go see it. But the thing in Nebraska is that the weather changes so quickly, and you know, things pass through because it's flat pretty much. And so it's very hard to predict where there's going to be, you know, clouds and where there's not.
Well, if this is 1 o'clock Monday, you got a dot that's somewhere in the vicinity of
so how are you
of
going to know?
Lincoln.
That could be off like by
And you got
a couple of
this one.
pixels, and that's 10 miles.
If we have to run and do it in North Platte, because North Platte is clear as a bell and everywhere else is cloudy, we will know we got to pull the trigger and do that.
So where are we heading?
So
Tomorrow we get the car and we just blast out to here.
This thing is never gonna make it in the car.
well, it's 7 feet long.
It is a bit of a distraction here for checking the blind spot.
Blind spot,
Blind
blind
spot
spot. But
is-
look at the. I mean, you know.
That's called the load shifting.
Yeah, we want to take it, you know, don't want the pogo effect like on the Saturn V.
Now that's starting to look interesting right there. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
A little flat, but doable.
Yeah.
What is it about the Sandhills that intrigues you?
Yeah, the Sandhills are a very unique feature of Nebraska and really of the country. They are these vast undulating grasslands. They are a kind of a signature feature of Nebraska, and they are wide open ranch land. There are cattle. It's rolling hills. Very few people out there under normal circumstances, and not that many even on eclipse day.
Joe and John on the cattle drive. Giddy up, little doggy.
Oh, this is not going to be good.
Oh, God.
Just got to get past it.
Yes,
Go
we're
around
looking
that
for
one.
the eclipse. So John executes a perfect 3-point turn, but only gets about halfway through the first point of it, and the whole car lurches to a stop, and the red lights come on. And we're like, oh my God.
Fog halon system.
We must have hit a cow, a fence post. You know, maybe the satellite tracking from the rental company decided that we weren't supposed to go any farther.
We got you now.
But no. It was this flower. This flower.
It's a nice flower, I have to admit.
It activated the all stop in the car. Everything shut down, stopped us dead in our tracks, made a really grotesque noise that was very frightening. And
I almost had to take a hard pill.
this guy's an ornate box turtle.
Yeah?
They're native out here. They're beautiful, beautiful shell. You can see why they're called ornate. That's the train that just about killed us recently because of why, John? John, communication. That's right. When I say there's a train coming,
And know that you're not sarcastic. I mean, you look at you and you are just one big smiley face emoji. We were constantly trying to figure out where the best chance of good weather would be in combination of the other factors that we wanted to include in a site.
As a reporter from Nebraska, I felt like this was my home turf, and I wanted to do it there. It was the weather was huge, but also the setting. We wanted to be in the right setting to capture, particularly the folly, but all sorts of media, because that day, well, we were carrying bags and bags and bags of cameras.
that'll ride better.
I'm so willing to take a shot at a home run. I really am. Because, you know, that's what we're here for. And if it fails, you know, it's that much more incentive to do it right in 2020 or whenever it is. Or if for whatever reason you go nuts, maybe go to Chile, I don't know. I'm gonna see one, I know that.
John decided who's going to get us the best hotel. Quiet, scenic,
Restful.
what'd you say?
And we gotta get that. And you gotta have a place to stay too. Presumably pretty close, you know, close to where we want to shoot. We get to see a lot of beautiful Nebraska.
Not a cloud in the sky.
So we went down this promising road and we came to a private property sign, and then we chickened out because we were like, oh, we don't want to go there because we thought we might have a deliverance situation. And so now we're back on the main road. We're heading towards Crawford, and we have to decide basically, you know, do we head farther west into Wyoming?
Into the unknown.
Into the unknown. Do we backtrack a little bit and head into the Nebraska National Forest, which looks promising because it's full of these big rocky booties, and then in the back of our minds, this idea that we still have time, we could backtrack to Halsey,
And hope
if
for the best if the weather
has improved. We're not sure. We're gonna eat lunch at Crawford, and then we're gonna have to check the weather and kind of figure it out. You can turn it on now.
That's what you'll say?
Yeah, I got it down.
We thought, hey, the Alliance would be a great place to go, but when we got there, the only place that seemed like it would be decent and was in totality was a sunflower field. And we almost decided, yeah, let's do it. This was a day in advance because it seemed like the weather there had a prediction of, 80% chance of partly cloudy or something. And then we decided, well, I don't know about the sunflowers, and you start as soon as all these factors come in. I just remember us discussing all day where the best place would be.
I really was looking for flowers, but if you recall, we went up and down Highway 2 looking at sunflower fields, which were fantastic and gorgeous, and they would have been great.
But no Sandhills.
But no Sandhills. It's a fallback.
Okay.
It's a fallback.
Cow can't open it unless you're discriminating against cows versus us being smarter than them because you have some sort of superiority complex. That's fine. But
I think I am superior to a cow. Most days.
we were very friendly right up until, there was less than 24 hours for the eclipse. And then it became,
Hopefully our shadows won't be humid.
I want to say testy.
It's hard to separate all these feelings like, oh, it'd be really cool to have a shot in Nebraska that is very Nebraska, very Sandhills-ish, which Halsey offers. It's beautiful. Then we have the unknown. And do I think you gotta put a little faith in the weather report. It's saying better to the west. And part of me says, going into Wyoming could be cool, but I lose the Nebraska angle.
Yeah.
How did we pick Ashby? I don't even remember how we came to select that.
It was a last minute sort of thing. We picked Highway 2, which is an east-west highway in Nebraska, because that was very near to where the track was. So if we found a spot and knew a spot that would be good, we could go there very quickly on Highway 2 and change our position east to west. And so we could check the weather updates up until the last minute and sort of make a decision.
Okay, so we just went down South Ashby Road, and it looks like we've come across an area, a little valley here of beeves, of a little tiny,
Translation, that's cattle.
a little tiny road that services probably about 20 houses of people down there. It's at the end of it somewhere.
It's this one right here. See?
Oh, look at all these little ranches.
This one runs off. It goes down to a bunch of ranches, but it's on the map. It's public.
It's probably right there.
We got access. It's a gorgeous pastoral scene with sandhills in the background, sunflowers in the foreground, cattle scattered across the scene. This is it. This is the spot. I really have been looking for
that authentic Nebraska shot. And that's different, I think, from what you're looking for. You have a broader vision, kind of, you know, for whatever might be interesting. And so when you see something that's interesting, but it's not like authentic Nebraska, I don't feel it, right? And so when I see something authentic Nebraska, because you haven't lived here, you know, you're more like, well, why is that?
Right.
But when
Sunflowers. Wow, that looks cool.
When I see the Sandhills and the lonely road and the cattle and the barbed wire fence, you know, that says this is the essence of Nebraska. This is hardworking people. It's ranches. It's remoteness. You know, physical challenges of the environment, but also this beauty that you get with it, right?
Yeah.
The animals close to the earth, right? Animal husbandry. It's we're very mobile on this road.
True.
So we can move up and down to.
Yes, if there's clouds.
And
oh my God, you're right. I forgot about that.
And pick, you know, we can pick the best location. We can move. It's authentic. It's perfect Sandhills.
What I want is a spot that you like so much that even if the chances of us hitting clouds are 50%, you're saying, man, this is such a great shot. We got to do it anyway, no matter what the eclipse looks like.
Yeah, I do too. Because I don't know what we're going to get.
And that's the spot we want to be in. We want to have something we have a chance at something great.
Yeah. I think this gives us a chance.
Cockroach.
Oh no. Oh God. Sleep with the lights on.
Here's one of your dead ones.
Yeah.
Keep yourself off the floor.
No. God. Oh, I gotta put this food somewhere then.
So eclipse starts at
So
11 something?
eclipse.
Exuviae. Yeah, Exuviae says
Partial 11:28. So when's the drop dead arrival? Initial arrival at
10:30.
10:30.
We gotta get there by 10:30. If we want to start the folly prior to.
Yeah, I'd say get there by 10.
Okay.
Just to account for who knows what.
All right, Joe, it's the morning of the eclipse. Check the weather, and they said that fog's not going to be a problem. We're currently making our way through it to find the sun. We're in Hyannis, Nebraska, a little bit away from Ashby, where our primary site is. It's looking like the primary site's going to have a 39% chance, 36% chance of cloudiness. 36, you know what I mean? 36% of the sky is covered with clouds. So further west is better, but not that much better. All the way to Alliance, you only get to 29%. So that's not that big of an improvement for going really far. And if we stay away from our primary site, you know, I'd much rather have shots in clouds at the primary site than shots in clouds anywhere else. So no guarantees. I say we go to primary.
So it's about, 30 miles, 30 minutes, whatever, 20 minutes, 25. If we want to run to like the farthest bale shot on the side of the road, You know, we hit the flowers before that, within the 30. So
Do we trust the weather?
So what? What do we say? Set up by 10?
Yes.
Set up by 10. 2 hours. I think we have a little bit of wiggle room here to just see.
What are we going to see?
I don't know.
We get there and it's sunnier, then we're going to say maybe it's sunny back in Ashby. Let's go back to Ashby. I say we just go.
Well, let's go to Ashby. Let's go to Ashby. And then by the time we're there, we'll still have a little wiggle room if we wanted to pull the trigger and go someplace else. But we're running out of options.
There's your sky.
Oh, there's a
There's
speck of
Joe.
blue. Speck of blue.
Too bad the sun's not going to be right there. Oh, it's not where the sun is. It's where you are. In
The
relation.
speed limit is 25
shit.
miles per hour.
But we didn't have.
God, just take off.
But we didn't have any blue until just now. So. Oh, it's gone. No, it's there. Yeah. Okay, so these clouds are just, I don't know, they just don't seem very thick at all. They're low clouds, really hard to forecast and predict. We should have gone into meteorology. They don't have to be right.
I said, hey, there's blue. And then a moment later, it was gone. And I thought, you know, living in Nebraska for a while, I had seen days like this, and I kind of felt like it was going to open up, that the skies were going to open up. But there was no counting on it because it had been terrible that morning.
This is the definition of crapshoot, John. But we're feeling lucky. Or are we? I think we're just feeling desperate.
Oh, if the eclipse happens in these kind of clouds.
It's not going to happen in these clouds.
They're low clouds?
Look, there's a spot there. They're low, they're thin.
They're gonna burn off, you say?
They're going to burn off.
Every cow knows these are gonna burn off.
The weather forecast says they're going to burn off. It says.
Does it say that?
Yeah, you
It says
can't.
it says frog early, and fog
Okay, John,
becomes
here's the difference.
low clouds.
Here's the problem, okay? Just let me explain it
Hear
to
me
you.
out.
Just listen and learn.
That
Okay,
inspires
so-
confidence.
So, you know, okay, here's the analogy. Okay, I'm going to tell you about the forecast for going on a date. You know, we're
Oh
okay.
God, this is where
I'm
you're
gonna-
getting your credibility.
I'm gonna pick up the girl at her house. We're gonna drive out
Sweet
to
nothings.
to a lovely restaurant, okay, and have banter, etc. You know, maybe out to a movie, taking a movie.
Is Danny
Then-
with you?
Then afterwards, you know, like most dates, you know, it's gonna end badly, and then, you know, then you drive home. But all that is going to happen on the date. That's like the weather forecast. They're saying, okay, it's going to be sunny and cloudy, but they can't tell you exactly when it's going to happen, right? I mean, so we're already getting the clouds. So that's the cloud. They've nailed the forecast.
Oh, you're
already.
saying they've
already said you're going to pick up the girl. Okay, that happened, but but they have yet to hit on the going to the movie or going out to dinner. So that's where we're, that's where the confidence comes
They
in.
had to say that it was going to be cloudy so that they'd have something to win under their belt.
People couldn't wake up and
They couldn't say
look
it's
at
gonna
this
be
and
sunny.
go, hey, it's going to be sunny, because
And then
it's
have it
not
be-
going to be.
And then have it be
Right?
cloudy and they get yelled at because I missed the eclipse. You said it was going to be sunny. Far less risk to say it's going to be cloudy and then it happens to be sunny and everybody's happy. You know what I mean? There's humans running the forecast.
Well, they got it right so far.
They have, but
They haven't
I'm
got
saying
they haven't got the partly sunny part right yet. Right?
right. Well, we went
So-
past our spot.
Yeah, no, I
You've
wanted
been
to
watching
see the
that.
next one
You've
too.
been multitasking.
That's a good one back
But there's
there.
no cows here today.
But over the hill, we'll see. That's not bad either.
But I see what you're saying. It's all happening according to plan. All I'm saying is, if you're a forecaster, you're going to err on the side of cloudiness. Because
true.
you get yelled at more if you say it's sunny and it's not, than if you say it's cloudy and it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be great. Should I launch the drone now? It's going to suck. I'm going to Chile.
We drove up and down that road, and I would jump out and I'd go look at a little flower patch, and then I'd dismiss that, and then we'd jump back in the car and we'd drive again, and we did that about 3 or 4 times down that road, and the clock was ticking.
Big chunk of blue right there.
All right.
And up above us, man. Come on, baby. This will work, man.
Oh.
Either one of these has been a really great shot. We got a flower patch here that's gonna glow like a freaking Christmas tree.
Having that shot way out there over in the distance is going to be very interesting.
And
You know
the
the
hill
distance
here.
there?
And the hill there, it's perfect. We're the closest thing to perfect we're gonna get right now.
Folly's working great. We're cool. Heat's not a problem. There are clouds. We got about 23 minutes till totality.
Wanna go get lunch or? I'm totally nervous.
It's doing great.
And I'm also telling myself, doesn't matter. I can just see something extraordinarily cool here, and I don't have to get the movie and blah blah blah.
As long as you hear it keep clicking, you're in set. So we have totality in about 17 minutes, and that cloud has got our name on it. Oh, this is, I just gotta sit back and just be all, yeah, whatever.
We've done everything we could possibly do. We've done everything, and we're this close. That close.
And the trouble with clouds is that they sort of billow up and dissipate and billow up and dissipate.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
If we can escape that one, we're in good shape, I think.
I don't know. Yeah, that one's coming right towards us.
Oh, except for that one. That one isn't an issue. Although it's low. It may go down low.
This may be our track.
Under.
I am so hopeful.
Oh, I gotta take a peek. I mean a peek. I have to take a peek. Oh my God! It is very cool.
Got about 6 minutes, maybe we'll do it now. Starting camera. Okay. Look at the horizon, Joe.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Son of a bitch, look at that.
Wow. That is so cool. Oh, my God.
Look at the stars.
Oh, man, the Corona. Big streams.
I don't know that you see it this way, but I feel like that eclipse adventure was kind of it not only bonded us in a way that we hadn't been bonded before. Maybe it was the supernatural event. Maybe it was there was an emotional part of it. You know, trying to chase this thing and trying to do this crazy thing with the folly, but I think it kind of reignited our friendship, which was always there, and it was always there but it had sort of gotten into the background mostly because of the distance, right?
Yeah.
And since then we've kind of made it a point to have these connections and these trips and try to do projects and stuff like that. But do you see it that way at all?
Sure. Yeah, it's one thing, like you said, to have friendships flourish, you have to do things together, really. And you are very good about texting me, which I think really kind of, it was a slow simmer of connection, because you would text me more often than I think a normal person would text somebody. And yet everything you text me was of interest, and I'd respond to a lot of it, and slowly I started texting you just as much. And so we text each other almost every day. And I think that, coupled with when we do get together, it's kind of this important event where we're both working together to try and achieve something, and the eclipse was the first one where we did that.
just an indication of this amazing spot. The sky just opened up here. Those clouds that were there, hovering, threatening, they were all on the horizon during totality. It was crazy. Not bad.
It's a perfect landing.
Not bad. Didn't even break any propellers.
Wow, that's what you said, not what I said.
Oh, what did I say?
What I'm saying is cowboys aren't wusses. They see a
guys-
couple of wusses like us, and they go, those guys are no problem. Right? How do you turn this camera on? Is there...
Well, as you'll remember from our tutorial class, Joe, there's a button on the upper left that slides off.
Shit. Okay, that's... Man.
That makes all the difference in the world.
Wow. It twitched. Come on, baby.
It's like the turtle because it
Come
knows
on,
we're
baby.
watching it. Maybe it's
Tumble!
being very
Wow.
coy.
Right outside the ramp. Oh! Tumble!
It's more of a rocking weed.
It's a rocker. Yes. Come on, tumble. Okay, so they don't all tumble, I guess. So now that you've had a couple of, well, errors in judgment, John, I think you probably learned from this experience.
Go on.
So from here on out, things ought to be smooth as silk, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, easily.
If that's where you're headed, you're exactly right.
Wow.
I'm not driving anymore anyway.
Wait, you want to see the cool trick, though?
Echo 155, Eclipse 15. Oh wait,
Oh, no, wait, wrong ones.
17. Eclipse 55.
How old are you, John?
55.
How old are you, Joe?
55.
How do you spell eclipse?
Eclipse.
Here's to Chile 2019.